Do you remember when I said I was going to make a quick and easy Seiko cosplay? I think it's just a very easy cosplay that That was January. It was supposed to be an easy, fun and quick project, and 9 months later, I still haven't finished it. For the last 2 months, I've been working non-stop to clear my backlog and finish all the cosplay I started this year, and some of them that I had planned but not started yet, also whatever this is. And I thought Seiko would be a great ultimate boss because she has been there hunting me for all year. Every time I looked at the corner, I could see her pointy wig. So it is about time to get her out of the way. And by the way, I am not making one version, I am making 3 versions of Seiko because, you know, why not? So let me take you back to last January when my life was just a little bit more chaotic than usual, and I had like this idea that I could make Seiko in just a couple of days. So for the first outfit, I decided to just buy the jacket and this cardigan or whatever you want to call it because that's honestly pretty difficult to make, and the materials to make them would be just stupidly expensive in comparison to how relatively cheap it is to get these things. So this is virtually done. I only need to change the buttons and maybe add the bra or whatever she's wearing underneath. I don't know, but this is almost done. Just need to change the buttons. And I also want to make the cloak. I already have a cloak. I actually have lots of cloaks. This is the one that I use for maybes, and there's a tutorial for it in my channel already. So what I need to do is just add an extra bit to it so it looks more like hers, and I think I'm gonna add a hood because me fancy, deal with it. And this cosplay should be pretty quick and easy to make. Sure, try making a cosplay while someone's taking down walls in your house and refurbishing the bathroom. It is a lot of fun. Anyway, I only had to use my button cover kit to create these gigantic buttons with a piece of yellow scrap fabric. I just had to follow the instructions. These ones were easier to make than the ones for my Marcel, and I decided to use press buttons instead of attempting to make bigger holes in my cardigan, because we don't like buttonholes in this channel. No, I mean it, we don't like them. The extra piece for the cloak was really easy to make. I simply had to cut a rectangle of fabric and make a pattern for the hood. I sewed the sides of the hood together and attached it to the middle of the rectangle. I repeated the same steps to make the red lining and sewed them together around the edge, leaving a gap in the middle so I could turn it inside out. And once I closed the gap at the bottom, the cosplay was almost done. But we are going to need some accessories. So, I got the bat in the post. You can see the box, yeah, this is gonna work, yeah, it's gonna work. Absolutely, it's gonna work. And this is what I got. I mean, if you're a toddler, maybe it would be very useful. Like, honestly, I can't see anyone older than 3 years old being able to use this. I think we're gonna have to go to Plan B with this. Yeah, definitely. Oh yes, we are back to the 3D printer.
Let's throw a good luck card to help with the process, shall we? My machine is slow, but maybe this is going to work after all. You know, I've had so much bad luck with my printers lately.
Guess what? My filament broke, and now I'm trying to just change the filament so I can finish printing the last part of the bat. And of course, it's not working. I'm gonna say it once more because I think it's my favorite sentence ever. I hate 3D printers. Just work on something. It's not working.
While I cry a little longer, let's just move on to the second cosplay and hope it goes better.
For the second outfit, I am going to be making her sweats outfit, which basically consists on a white t-shirt and some kind of cincher over here and shorts and just arm warmers and leg warmers. I already have the t-shirt. If you want to make a t-shirt yourself, you can see how I made my t-shirt for Tifa. Warning alert, it took 3 attempts. This looks super easy. It's not, so I don't recommend making the t-shirt yourself, but you know, be my guest. I am going to be doing the arm warmers using this dress that I made as a test for my bodysuit pattern. This was actually made by me, but I don't wear it very much because it's very thin and it's quite cold in England. So I am gonna be cutting off the sleeves because those are already going to be perfect. I'm using the rest of the fabric to do the arm warmers, and if you need a pattern, I actually made one and I will link the patterns for that in the description as well. For the shorts, I'm actually going to make the shorts myself as well because I do have this piece of fabric. I don't even know what it is, but I know it's a slightly stretchy and it's been on my stash since forever, so I made a pattern for shorts and I'm going to be using some bias tape to add the details to it. And finally, I got this chunky thin sweater from a thrift store, actually just like a market from the street, and I thought this is going to be perfect to just go there because I honestly don't know what she is wearing. Like if you know what that garment is, just let me know. But what I'm going to be doing is just I'm going to cut the top of this and that's going to become my cincher because I think it actually looks quite accurate, don't you think? Let's get started.
Turns out, I was quite accurate. This piece of clothing is called a haramaki, and it is very popular with older people in Japan to warm their bellies. I simply sewed a tube on this rib knit fabric and finished the edges by hand. I wish I had known earlier about this piece of clothing because I only installed central heating in my house recently. Here we are, looking like a real granny. The arm warmers were also fairly easy. I simply had to adjust them to make them tighter, but I forgot to make the holes for the thumbs. We will fix that later, she thought 9 months ago. I also used the rest of my dress to cut the pieces of my leg warmers, and I finished the edges with a zigzag stitch and an elastic band. The last piece for this look was the shorts. And of course, my trusty helpers jumped to the rescue while I cut the pieces. I sewed an open piece of bias tape to the outer edge of each panel, and I turned it around the edge before I sewed it again. For these shorts, I decided to sew first the front with the front and the back with the back at the curved area. Then, right sides together, I sewed the crotch. Finally, I overlapped the front and back pieces and sewed the sides. That's not looking bad, but we definitely need to add a waistband. I folded the top edge to create a channel and sewed it with a zigzag stitch. Spoiler alert, sewing stretch fabrics can be hell. But this is a silly cosplay. I don't care if it's not perfect. To finish the shorts, I only needed to insert the elastic band. Did I also lose the safety pin inside? Yes, I need to just take it out and do it again. Let's take a deep breath before we go back to the princess.
New development. I unscrewed this part thinking that I could take the pipe off to get the filament off because that's broken on the inside, and I was not able to push it through. It was just not moving at all, even with this heated. So I thought maybe if I unscrew it from here, I will be able to just take it from this end. And now what happened is that I couldn't unscrew this part, but I did unscrew that part, and now I can't put it back because it just won't move. So I think I broke it. I don't know, because I just hate it. This is the worst thing in the world. Why?
Let's move forwards to a week later when I decided no printer deserved the amount of grief this one had given me throughout the years. My new printer was faster and better, but we were already in February and none of the cosplays were fully finished. Also, let's not forget about our lucky cat, which of course was made with my old printer. So it needed a lot of extra work. I will not be exposing all the indecent parts of my cat here. I already have a video about finishing 3D prints, and you just need to know this took way longer than I would have liked. Just remember, if you are using UV resin, you need to wear gloves and a respirator, and you want to make sure your pieces are not sticky, otherwise they are not fully cured yet. Fortunately, the pad wasn't as bad. And after painting it silver, I simply wrote the kanji with a Sharpie. I dry brushed the tip of the giant pencil with several tones of sand colors, trying to make it as accurate to a pencil as possible. And I also painted the tip a very dark grey and dry brushed it with silver to make it look like real lead. And for the wrap around the handle, yeah, always 1 inch too short. The pencil connects with magnets so I can swap it. Let's carry on with the cat.
So, I have been painting and this definitely didn't go according to plan. I literally messed it up, which means, of course, more sanding. My favorite part.
I am starting to think this is not a lucky cat after all. After a fresh layer of white paint, I simply had to add the rest of the colors. How many times can it go wrong, you say? Many times. But I just kept going. Trouble after trouble. Eventually, I only had to finish the eyes. Seriously? And After many, many hours of painting, the cat was done.
Hey, you did this. You made a hole on my cat. Do you have anything to say? Anything on your defense? Don't play dumb, don't play cute. You did it to her. You didn't like her, did you? Too many cats in this house, huh? Unbelievable.
We are in March now, having to spend extra time fixing issues and about to start the third cosplay. Fortunately, this one is almost done because I have most of the pieces from previous cosplays. I have already made several Miko cosplays and I know I can mix some of my old pieces to make Seikos. If you are unfamiliar with Japanese rites, a Miko or a shrine maiden is a young priestess who works at a Shinto shrine. For Seiko, I am only missing the crown, which I made with foam to resemble the real ones. I just had to spray it with gold and add a few extra details to it, and my cosplay would be complete. There is a small problem with this cosplay. You see, when I decided I wanted to make her shrine cosplay, Season 2 of Dan Da Dan wasn't out yet, and I was only going with one image reference of the cosplay, and I assumed that she was wearing a red hakama because you usually see shrine maidens wearing red hakama. The problem is, Seiko isn't a shrine maiden. She is a priest. And she wears a blue hakama. How could I miss that? But let's not cry over spilled milk. We still have a few details to finish. "3D glasses are surprisingly sturdy."
I'm just gonna have to just go for harder measures.
This was a noble sacrifice from Deadpool and Wolverine. But I'm gonna go to the alternative universe. Like a good granny, I finished stitching my pieces while watching a Korean drama.
Now he wants to kill you, Kigayo. Your enemy's enemy.
I put it in the wrong place.
After fixing a few more hiccups, the cosplay was finally ready. Of course, we are also going to need a wig. This was supposed to be a sponsored product from Sakumeta, but I simply couldn't deliver the video on time. However, the wig was surprisingly good, so I will link it in the description if you are interested, because I only had to add some hairspray and it was pretty much good to go. And at the very last minute, I decided to make her bra with a piece of paper fabric that I stitched together and turned inside out. But wait, we still have to fix the cat. She may be a yokai, but she is part of the family now. And after 9 months of troubles, it is finally time for a Granny Seiko reveal. I am so glad Seiko is finally finished. Of course, I had to celebrate with sushi because this cosplay has been on the list for way too long. And I am also happy that I pushed myself to finish all my started cosplays this year, or at least as many as I could fit. And you may be wondering, did I finish my 13 cosplay challenge on time? Let's count. Does this count? She definitely needs a bit of work. During the last 2 months, I managed to finish, take photos, and edit the videos of almost 13 cosplays that have been on my to-do list for months. As to be expected, I had some issues with some of them, and yeah, that delayed some others. But don't worry, I am not giving up, and the videos will be out in a couple of weeks. If you have been following the challenge, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. And if not, what are you waiting for? I still have lots to show you, so make sure you stick around and subscribe because I will be seeing you in the next adventure. Bye! Stop pointing at my boobies.
Not my fault your boobs are in the middle of the frame.
Oh, well, don't. Got it?
Boobies are the frame.
Oops.
Yeah.
If I keep going, you follow? Come on, doggy, doggy. Come on, come on, come on, come on, doggy, doggy.
She doesn't pay me enough.
I summoned the demon! I summoned the demon! Look at the demon! Phew, phew! Human demon! 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 Are you recording my boobies again? I told you not to record my boobies. I asked you if my boobies are in the right position. It's not the same question. Oi!